Hello and welcome to Module 6 of Navigating Nigerian Economic Realities and Challenges. In this module, we shall be looking at business survival for small and medium-scale enterprises and organizations. Welcome. In today's unstable economic environment, profitability alone does not guarantee survival. Therefore, this module equips small, medium enterprises owners and managers with practical strategies to navigate inflation, cash flow crisis, regulatory demand, and market challenges. The model content that we should be looking at here include understanding business environment and economic risk, cost control, pricing strategies and profit optimization, cash management flow in an unstable economy, adapting business model to market changes. We'll finally look at regulatory compliance and tax consideration before we draw our conclusion. By way of introduction, why business survival matters. Staying alive in a volatile economy. Small medium enterprises are the backbone of Nigerian economy that provide employment, innovation, and income generation. The challenges facing this industry include inflation and rising costs, unstable exchange rate, reduced consumer purchasing power, inconsistent government policy, as well as insecurity and infrastructural deficit. The key message here is that surviving is not automatic. It requires deliberate strategy, discipline, and adaptability. Note, many businesses failed within the first few years, not because they are unprofitable, but because they cannot manage economic shock. Let us change that. Let us begin with understanding the business environment, that is knowing the terrain of where that you operate. Now, we have different type of business environment. We have internal environment, which is controllable, like management, employee, finances, and production system. Now, we have the external environment that you must adapt to, which include economic condition, government policies, competition, and technological changes. Now, the key external tracking metrics include inflation rate, exchange rate, monetary policy rate, then we have emergency price, energy price like the price of fuel and gas. Then we have consumer disposable income. Note, you cannot control the economy, but you can track it. Business that monitor these indicators make better and faster decisions. Now let us look at identifying economic risk. What can go wrong? Plan for it. Now, common economic risk in Nigeria include inflation, that is increasing costs, which reduces purchasing power. Now, we have exchange rate fluctuation that affect imported goods and their prices. Then we have high production costs like fuel, increase in fuel, electricity, and transportation. We have government policy change, which is sudden change in tax and regulatory shift. Now, we have insecurity that is prevalent in Nigeria, like theft, vandalism, and regional instability like Boko Haram and bandits. Now, risk assessment tool, that is the tool that you can use to assess the risk, include profitability impact matrix, asset exposure audit, counterparty difficult risk evaluation, and fixed cost liability mapping. Note, identify your vulnerability before a crisis hits. A business that knows its risk is a business that can prepare for it. Having known that, let us look at scenario planning for survival. That is, prepare for this for three possible futures. Now we have number one, baseline scenario. Here, current inflation and economic condition continue. Therefore, plan for stability. Now we have worst case scenario. Here, Naira devaluate below survival threshold. Here, define automated cost cutting triggers. Now we have optimistic scenario. Here, the scenario is interest rate and fuel prices stabilize. The strategy is to conservatively expansion triggers. Now, action steps include review assumption on weekly basis, assemble your finances, logistics, and sales head in cross-fractional war room. Then adjust strategy to real-time market data. Note, hope is not a strategy. Scenario planning means you are ready whether the economy gets better, worse, or stay in the same condition. Having known that, let us now look at cost control, that is to stop the leakage. Every naira saved is a naira earned. Now we have different types of costs. We have fixed costs, which include uh, rent, salary, insurance, that is harder to change. We have variable costs like the cost of raw materials, transportation and utility, which is easier to control. Now we have semi-variable like electricity and maintenance costs. Now we have cost control strategies, which include one, budgeting, plan your expenses in advance time. Then waste reduction, eliminate unnecessary usage. Then supplier negotiation, get better price and negotiate fairly. Efficient operation, reduce delay and errors. And finally, regular financial monitoring, track all expenses on weekly basis. Note, inflation eats margins. The business that survives are those that aggressively manage costs without destroying the value. Having known that, let us now look at pricing strategies, that is, price smartly and not desperate. Set a price that protects your margin. Now we have different pricing strategies. Number one is cost plus pricing strategy. Here include the total. You now state your price based on the total cost plus small margin as your profit minus your minimum floor. So we have competitive pricing strategies. On this method, price is being set based on the competitor's price. Here you have to be very careful in setting your price. We have penetration pricing strategies. Here you set your price below the market price in order to penetrate into the market, and this is usually for short-term basis only. And we have premium price strategies. Here, high price for high quality or unique product. So here you set your price based on the quality or the uniqueness of your product. Now we have psychological pricing. Instead of saying 1,000 naira, you now use psychology on your customers. You may just remove 1 naira and then say 999 naira, which influence their perception. Now let us look at the key rule. Here, review price regularly as cost changes. Do not wait until you are losing money before you review your price. Note, do not be afraid to adjust price. Customers understand inflation. Therefore, just communicate value clearly to them. Having known that, let us now look at profit optimization. That is maximize what you keep. The revenue is vanity, but profit is sanity. Now, profit optimization is equals to increasing revenue plus reducing cost plus improving efficiency. So when you increase revenue and reduce cost, thereby improving your efficiency, you are optimizing profit. The strategies include increase sales revenue. Then number two, reduce cost, reduce the operating cost. That is, eliminate unnecessary expenses, improve pricing strategies, balance demand and profitability, then diversify your product and services that serve more consumer needs. Finally, improve productivity, like train your staff and upgrade processes. The formula for profit is the price you are selling times the volume of goods you sold minus your cost, which include fixed and variable costs. That is the formula to calculate your profit. That is the price of the goods, the price per unit of your goods times the volume that you made minus the cost, which includes fixed and variable costs. That gives you the profit. Note, you can have high sales and still go broke if your margins are too thin. Therefore, optimize for what you keep and not just what you sell. Having known that, let us look at the margin cash flow, that is the survivor lifeline. Cash is king, especially in crisis. Cash flow is money, that is money in sales, loan and investment minus money out, that is rent, salary and supply. Common cash flow killers include late customer payments. So when customer pay lately, it affects your cash flow. High operating cost is another factor that kills your cash flow. Poor financial planning kills cash flow, and excessive inventory, that is tying up cash in unsold goods, it can also kill your cash flow. Now we have management strategies. Maintain a cash flow budget, on weekly, on daily basis, speed up receivable, control expenses, keep emergency cash reserve, and manage inventory efficiently to avoid overstocking. Note, profit is an option. Cash is a fact. Many profitable business fail because they run out of cash. Therefore, do not be one of them. Having known that, let us look at adapting business model to market changes. That is how you can adapt to different market changes using different business model. Now, the pivot or the Paris. Drivers of market challenges, drivers of market changes include customer behavior shift, technology advancement, economic condition, new competition, and government policy changes. Now, adaptation strategies include diversify product and services, go to digital like online sales, social media, and e-commerce, adjust pricing models, improve customer experience, and enter new markets or customer segment. Note, the business that survive COVID, recession, and currency crisis were those that adapt quickly. Therefore, rigidity is dangerous. Then let us look at compliance, regulatory compliance, that is stay legal and stay safe. Compliance is not an option, it is a compulsory something. Therefore, what is regulatory compliance? It means following the law, rules, and standards set by the government agencies. The key requirement in Nigeria is the law set by the Business Registration. That is, you must register your business with Corporate Affairs Commission. Then industry specific regulation like health, manufacturing, and finance. Then we have labor law regulation like fixing your wages, workers' right and safety is very, very mandatory. So you must comply. Then you must comply to environmental regulation like waste management is also a sine qua non. Why does it matter? It prevents fines, penalty, and legal action. So if you fail to comply, your business will be fined and penalized by the government. It is also build it helps to build credibility with your customer and investor. Here, your customer and investor will have the sense that the business is credible to do business with. Then it gives access to loan and government support. So when you comply, you have access to different loan and government support. Note, non-compliance can close down your business overnight. Therefore, register properly, keep record, and stay updated on regulatory changes. Having known that, let us look at tax consideration. Plan, don't panic. Pay what you owe, no more, no less. Now, common business tax in Nigeria include company income tax. Here, the government will tax you based on the profit you made. We have value-added tax. This is tax on goods and services based on their value. Now, we have pay as you earn tax, which is deducted from employees' salary. Now, we have withholding tax, which is deducted at source or certain payment. Now, importance of tax compliance include it helps to avoid penalties and sanctions from government. It helps to ensure smooth operation, no unexpected business closure. It helps to build credibility for loan and partnership. It also helps to give you access to government support program as well as other government loan. The best practice is proper record keeping, regular filing, and engage tax professionals. Note, tax evasion is not survival. It is a risk that can destroy your business. Therefore, plan for tax as a fixed cost. Now let us look at common business survival mistake. What not to do. Some of the mistakes you should not venture to do in your business. Number one is ignoring your financial record. That is, flying blind is dangerous. Overestimating future sales is also a no-go area, which leads to overstocking and cash flow problem. Another red flag is poor debt management. That is, late payment kills suppliers' relationship. We also have excessive credit sales without control, which keep you, which dry up your cash flow. Now we have lack of emergency planning. When you do not have a buffer for, it results to no buffer for shock. So in terms of shock, you do not have any buffer. We have resistant change, which is a no-go area. Rigid business model fails in dynamic market. Then we also have ignoring compliance and tax. This one is a no-go area. It will bring legal trouble and this legal trouble is very expensive. Note, learn from the mistake of others. Avoid these traps and your chance of survival increase dramatically. In conclusion, survival is a strategy. Build a business that lasts. Business survival in Nigeria's economy requires deliberate action, not luck. The key pillars of survival include understand your environment and track economic risk, control costs and set smart prices, optimize for profit, not just revenue, manage cash flow ruthlessly. Cash is a king. Adapt your business model to market changes, comply with regulations and taxes. The final message here is that the economy will fluctuate, policies will change, but business that are financially disciplined, operationally efficient, and strategically adaptable will not just survive, they will thrive. Thank you. Go build a resilient business that weather every storm and emerge stronger on the other side. And have a nice day.